Um, no, I think
Which is nothing. They've got no strength, nothing, zero strength.
they'll be like, what, what?
Yeah, yeah. I hope so. I hope so. I really hope so. That's literally exactly why I'm saying
And following on from what I
it.
just perpetuated, what have
Yeah.
been some crazy things you've witnessed whilst running these comedy shows? I mean, whenever you run comedy shows, there's always something like fucks up that happens now and then. Sometimes I've
Yeah.
had someone go on stage, some lady was a bit drunk, she went and snatched a woman, female comics microphone and said, "Oh, enough," whilst everyone was enjoying it. And
What?
that lady says it was just she was a bit entitled, a bit all over the place, and
Okay.
yeah, she and the comic said that in 1,000 shows, it's the first time she's had anyone do that. And
Wow.
then I had someone piss into a bottle, well, a can. I mean, there's some of the strange things I've had. I've had a guy threaten another guy in one of my gigs. Like the barman was talking loudly, and we one of the audience members told him to be quiet. He
Yeah.
wanted to get in a fight with him. And then I had another situation where a guy wanted to press and go by being a tough guy and trying to get in front of another audience members. Now, I'm sure you've
Jeez.
had some crazy situations like that,
Yeah,
and tell us some of
yeah,
the.
yeah. I mean that the one where there's someone pissed into a can, that's another level to me. That's some that's literally piss taking. Yeah.
I don't take the piss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, we had, well, again, I mentioned Slough before. That's a bit of that's a bit of a tough gig. So we've had a couple that I remember. They weren't sitting together. I think the girl was sitting there, like, let's say row number 6, and her partner was in row 7. And that was weird. And they were together, which we did find out through the banter. And they were, how do you say, they were on something. There was no any chemistry between them two. They had some chemistry in them, if that makes sense.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah, something like it goes along the lines of MDMA, probably. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they took, like what were they doing before the gig, but the guy, like every, and literally you could count it like with using your watch. Every 5 seconds, he would get up and say, "Ha, hu, hu," just that. Literally every 5 seconds, "Ha, hu, hu." I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, is he? Of which we obviously did find out that he's on something. And then she started doing something crazy as well. I don't remember what was she doing. But obviously, after a minute or two, we had to, like, ask them to leave. And the funny thing is, well, when the guy was trying to leave, he didn't use the exit door. He actually went behind the bar instead. It's like, okay, this is brilliant. So like that's one of the examples. Um, what else? What else? Well, we did have someone drunk trying to get on stage. Definitely. Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic. Yeah. Like, oh, I know some jokes. I can go on stage straight away. So we've had that. What else? What else? It's probably mainly just like drunk people trying to be funny, I would say. Yeah, something like that. I love that you've got green screen. So like what I'm seeing is like you just okay, no one behind you. That was awesome. You just okayed a white wall. That's brilliant. Oh, this is
Oh, sorry. No,
that was
someone
no, no,
came
no,
in and I just,
no.
just
I know. Like I know, but this is brilliant because I just was like, yeah, yeah. I see ghosts too. Don't worry, I do see ghosts as well.
I think I may have seen a few. But
Yeah,
as long as they don't bother you, it's all
exactly.
good.
Yeah. I mean, I've been ghosted before. It's kind of same shit, I think. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing. Just drunk, drunk members of the audience mainly. But yeah, that episode in the Slough was probably really really bad. No, actually, I had one in English too because I did try to do a gig in. I used to live in Muswell Hill, and I live in Walthamstow now. I used to live in Muswell Hill, very posh. That was back in the day when I used to have money. Yeah, and we did this show in it's like a tiny little pub, like right on the bottom of Muswell Hill. I think it's called the Furlough, and that was a show in English. And I think who was there? Who was there? It wasn't me, but it was Pete White, who's also actually funny enough. Pete White. I'm not sure if you know Pete White.
Is he the one that does a lot of puns?
Yeah. Pete, yeah, he's a panga. Yeah. So he can actually speak Polish, which is crazy. I know. Yeah. We had him in he's done a few shows with us before. And he was doing his routine in English, and someone stood up. I think it was one of a crazy person. I think it was a woman who stood up like with her pint glass, and she went to throw a pint glass at him. She didn't actually, but she like threatened him, and she was, "Oh, you fuck off! Like get off stage, you're rude." Something along those lines, like she didn't like the joke, basically.
And then what did he say?
I don't remember. I think he was happy about it because but he was like, okay, it worked. Yeah, it's a good joke. It worked. Yeah, it did offend
It got
someone.
something.
It's a good joke. It got something, exactly. Got something.
Hmm.
So yeah, that
It's
was that was yeah.
and what is what what has running shows given you? How has it shaped you as a person?
Hmm, fun, like a lot of fun, definitely. Just it kind of like my partner like always says, like you don't have to prove to anyone that that you're that like who you are whatsoever. I'm just trying to cover this mess behind me. I think that looks a bit better. It definitely strengthened myself. I think it gave me a purpose, I would say, because again I've got an amazing crew who is with me, and it kind of um showed me the path I want to follow, like in my life. It definitely did help me, funny enough, with my mental health as well. And again, like what my partner says, like you don't have to prove to anyone that you mean something, but it kind of helped me to achieve that.
And what's so? How do you feel? What do you feel is the struggle in terms of mental health as a performer? Because
Mm,
it's a thing that often gets talked about. A lot of comics say
yeah,
they
of
got
course, yeah.
this or they got that or they got whatever.
Mm. Yeah.
How do you sort of handle things before you go on stage? How do you compartmentalize, as it were?
Well, I don't know, to be fair. I'm always try to, like, I love the moment I go on stage. I absolutely love it. And again, like which is obviously a very silly thing to say, but if you say something that people laugh at, it's great. It's brilliant. It's like, you feel cool. So I think that's the main thing. But before I go on stage, um, just try mainly to focus. To be honest with you, I think.
And how often do you get jokes from the bar, being a barman and having a chat with people?
Yeah. It's like, oh, I know a joke. Go listen to this one. This is funny. It's not funny. Just please go. There's your pint. Yeah, quite often. Yeah.
And do you find it? What do you enjoy about being working in the bar and in terms of comedy? Because they're both interesting jobs. Working in a bar,
Yeah.
you get lots of
Mm,
mental people.
yeah.
And what would you say that gives you in terms of comedy?
Experience. I think that's the main thing, like experience, because sometimes I do jokes which are based on what happened while working behind the bar.
Oh, okay. And that's how we first met. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. There's your point waiting. That was a shit. That was a terrible joke. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Yeah.
And as Gatsis would say, that would be his cow joke.
Yeah. I love Gaddis. I mean, I love him. Like he's part of like the comedy Nag's Head. Like he's always there. I love Gaddis.
Oh, you bring him in for the English comedy shows
Yeah.
then?
Of course. Yeah. He's like one of my best mates. He's brilliant. I love the guy, and yeah, he's always there.
Oh, he's incredible, isn't he? I
Yeah.
find his crowd work. I don't know what it is. His crowd
Yeah.
work is absolutely amazing.
I
Right
know.
up there.